to get into chapter 10 today. And the chapter 10, this section of the book is about communication. And then chapter 10 leaps into that the baseline for communication is trust. And how we build trust is through transparency and authenticity. So that's the overall scope of this chapter. And the first section is called Soul Cleansing Trust. And when we have trust, it makes communication so that when we interpret words from people, when you've got trust in the relationship, that you interpret words in a positive and constructive way. And I've got some pretty telling anecdotes in the chapter about the difference in communicating with trust and without trust. But when we with trust, we take constructive feedback as constructive and generous, as opposed to attacking us or negatively. And so that's ultimately, at the end of the day, what we're trying to accomplish is that we're all here together. We trust the fact that we're here supporting each other in our own growth. And so when someone brings you feedback, it's like the greatest gift you can get, right? Like we long for the feedback from people that we trust about how we can get better and how we can improve. I think one of the more interesting nuggets from chapter 10, though, is that trust starts with the leader, and that the leader must earn the right to lead through gaining trust. And you do that through making the investment first. And like that kind of flips the relationship around a little, right? Because I think oftentimes in the world, the leader assumes that when somebody comes onto a team that they're going to have that trust already. And I think actually the exact opposite of that is true. I think in most environments in the world, someone comes onto a team and they are automatically cynical is probably too strong of a word, but they're reserved. They're not sure. And then it's up to the leader to go ahead and build that relationship and build the trust. And then from there, you can move forward. Right. And so that's one of the nuggets that I really like about this chapter is transitioning the responsibility for building trust to the leader, and that the leader has to engage that and make the investment first to build that trust. And then I think another thing that in this chapter that I really like is that I talk a lot about relationships and how critical they are, of course, but that in every interaction, you're either building trust or you're depleting trust, right? And therefore, in every interaction, we need to be focused on and trying to build trust with each other. And the end result of that, of course, is magnificent. But when you think about your interactions minute in, minute out, that you're either building trust or you're depleting trust, I think that helps us approach our relationships and our engagements, I hope, in a healthier way. I talk a lot in this chapter about transparency, and you can't. One of the premises is you can't kind of be transparent, right? You're either transparent or you're not. And the thing about transparency is, as the leader of a team, if you aren't transparent, then you're the harbinger of reality. And I hope that can make sense, right? So if you're the one holding information and you're the one doling out information to different people at different times and so on, then you're the one that's the harbinger of reality. And to me, I think that that's unhealthy, right? I mean, reality should just be reality. and there shouldn't be one person holding the keys to what reality looks like. And then again on transparency, if you aren't transparent, I think you're basically making a statement that you don't trust people, that you don't think people can handle the full reality. And so by being transparent, I think it's a really powerful act of trusting. right? Because you're trusting that people will take the information, be responsible with it, be reasonable, and that's what opens up, I think, important conversations. Is everybody having all the information? And if there are, let's call them secrets in the organization, what we need to do is we need to pull that secret out. We need to shine a big bright light on that secret and have the conversation about it, right? And that to me is what transparency is about. And so, I think that in closing, um, so is trust and transparency and authenticity lead to good communication. And authenticity is awkward. Authenticity sometimes takes more work. uh, I think that in the world today, that oftentimes people move forward in sort of a lazy way by giving platitudes, because platitudes are simple and easy, and you move forward without having to have the conversation. But at the end of the day, leadership is about that conversation, about the conversation and having the authentic conversation. So I'll just close with strong relationships built on trust and transparency, authentic engagement, which helps build strong bonds. And then we communicate in ways that are healthier and more effective. And so that to me is like this incredibly virtuous cycle. Better, stronger communication builds trust. With trust, you have more authentic conversations. With more authentic conversations, you build more trust, right? And that's the virtuous cycle of, and that's kind of the point of this whole chapter. So that's chapter 10, and I look forward to moving forward and methodically moving through the book each week. Thank you for the opportunity.